The Model Y was a brand new product for Tesla in the 2020 model year. It's basically a crossover version of the very successful Model 3. Very popular vehicle. In fact, the Model Y is becoming the most popular Tesla. I think right now they're actually selling more Model Ys than Model 3s. The Model Y actually might end up becoming the best-selling car in the world. If sales keep on going the way they're doing, every market Tesla keeps on shipping the Ys to seems to be very successful. 2020 is the year of this Model Y. This one's a performance edition. So you had your regular Model Y, which was pretty fast in its own right, 0 to 60 right around 5 seconds, top speed I think 135 miles an hour. Well, the Model Y Performance, it takes things up another notch. Tesla does not put out official horsepower figures on the Model Y Performance or the regular Model Y, but with how well it performs, people probably estimate it produces somewhere around 450 horsepower. So 0 to 60, 3.5 seconds, top speed 155 miles an hour. You have upgraded brakes, upgraded suspension. This thing handles amazingly, yet it's a very practical crossover SUV. You have all-wheel drive. You have a lot of space in the interior. The interior is about 20% bigger than the Model 3. A nice rear hatch, nice commanding view of the road. One awesome vehicle. And the thing with electric vehicles, even though this is a performance vehicle, in a lot of ways, if you take a gas-powered vehicle that has similar performance figures, 0 to 63.5 seconds, in the real world, I think you have an advantage of, an EV. Because when you hit the throttle, you have instantaneous throttle response, instantly. Boom. You don't have that type of throttle response with a gas car. I mean, gas cars react pretty well. They have drive-by-wire throttles, but think about all the stuff that has to happen when you hit the accelerator. The car has to tell, the engine to dump more gas in the cylinders. And sometimes if you want to accelerate, you mash on the gas. Then the car has to downshift the transmission. There's only one speed, so no downshifting in this. Then the engine has to rev to its power band. So when you want to go fast in a gas-powered car, even if it's a fast gas-powered car, sometimes there's a little moment of hesitation, for it to figure out what gear to put it in, and then it takes off. No hesitation. As soon as you hit that throttle, you just take right off. It's instantaneous, and it's unlike the driving experience of a gas car. You really have to get behind the wheel and experience yourself. It's hard for me to do it in words, but it's quite amazing. I'm a Tesla owner myself. I have a Model 3 Standard Range Plus. I'm a big fan of Tesla products. I'm the used car manager here at Infiniti of Tacoma. One of my jobs is to buy inventory for our store. Since I like Teslas, I usually keep about 10 pre-owned Teslas in stock. We've had hundreds of Teslas come through our store. We've bought and sold over the years, so I'm pretty familiar with them. And let's talk more about this lovely Model Y Performance. Okay, so a nice, comfortable, cozy interior, big roof panel right here. The majority of the functionality is handled in the screen, allowing for a nice, clean interior design. Some people, might ridicule the sparsity of Tesla's interior. I like it. It's like a sensory deprivation chamber. I don't have all this clutter, feeling like I'm in an airplane cockpit, distracting me. It's a nice, peaceful place, and the majority of the functionality is in this screen, which is great because it's infinitely configurable. If you have hard buttons, you can't change those, you can't update them. All these buttons and stuff on the screen is infinitely configurable. Tesla is constantly, every month, having over-the-air updates, making the vehicle safer, adding features. These updates are at no additional cost for the customers. Notably, one of my favorite updates, this is a Christmas update about a year ago, December of 2021. This car was out for a little over a year. Then they figured out, hey, we can activate the cameras and the fenders when you put the turn signals on, so now you have blind spot cameras. And that's just a drop in the bucket, that's just a drop in the bucket to all the stuff they've added. They're adding video games, they're adding, TikTok, Twitch, that stuff is new, Disney Plus. They're constantly adding video games. You can actually get a Xbox style USB controller, plug it into the USB ports underneath there, and you can play video games. With premium connectivity, you have these amazing crisp Google Maps. You can also have an illustrated view if you prefer that. You can use a navigation system to find supercharging. Tesla has Tesla does have the biggest supercharging, fast charging network in the world. 30,000 superchargers, the majority of them in the United States, so you can get a full charge in about 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Really easy to do. And then if you're going a little bit further, let's say I want to go to Spokane. all the way across the great state of Washington, it'll figure it all out for me. So right now this only has 102 miles of charge on it. It's not fully charged yet, but let's say I still decide I want to drive across the state to Spokane. It'll figure out for me. It'll say I'll need to charge northbound. I'll arrive with 9% range. I'll charge for 45 minutes. Then I'll arrive in Moses Lake with 12% range and charge for 35 minutes, and then I can finish my trip to Spokane. Supercharging is great, but the nice thing is that your home is also the gas station. So most people don't drive more than 300 miles a day, which is the range on this Tesla Model Y when fully charged. So you come home, you plug it in, you wake up the next day, and it's fully charged. And then obviously, you know, a lot of people have charging and stuff at work, and those chargers are starting to pop up all over the place in parking garages and stuff. So charging is becoming fairly easy, but now, you know, with a battery that can go 250, 300 miles on a full charge, that's pretty revolutionary. You know, before, you know, when some of the first EVs came out, like the Nissan Leaf, one of the first battery electric vehicles that we could buy, it only had a fully charged range of 75 miles. Now people with 75 miles of range are starting to get range anxiety, let alone that being your fully charged range for commuting. So obviously, you know, electric cars have gone from being commuters to mainstream vehicles, and the Model Y is great. As far as crossover SUVs go, from safety standpoint, it's extremely safe. In fact, it's actually one of the lowest rollover risks out of any crossover SUV you can buy. And a big part of that is the batteries. The weight of the batteries are very low to the ground. The batteries are very heavy, so the weight is low to the ground, so that basically keeps the vehicle anchored to the ground. It's like a keel on a boat or one of those, you know, punching dolls. It just keeps it planted. And even if it did flip over, they've done rollover tests, even if it somehow does manage to get on this roof, the weight of the batteries is just going to flop it right back in the wheels, kind of like one of those punching clowns. You just can't keep it down. All right, this one has aftermarket TSW wheel and tire package, nice Michelin tires with plenty of tread. Michelin's a great brand of tires. Then this one has the performance upgraded brakes. These were optional on later Model Y performances. They made all this stuff standard, but in 2020 you could get the, you know, the performance upgrade as far as acceleration goes, but as far as, you know, things like the aluminum pedals, you know, the upgraded brakes, and the carbon fiber spoiler, that stuff was optional back then. This has it, so this has you know, pretty much all the performance features you can get in 2020. And here we have a frunk, so you have more storage here, which is nice. It's also a safety feature because you have all this space to absorb crush energy in a frontal collision. So normally, you know, most cars would have an engine here, so you have a lot more space to absorb that energy in a frontal collision, just further adding to the safety. Then we have Autopilot, which is traffic aware cruise control, which allows the vehicle to brake and accelerate in its own lane. Great for stop and go traffic, great for driving on the highway. I use it all the time. It's amazing. One fantastic performance crossover SUV. This thing excels in multiple categories. It's very efficient, it's very fast, it's cool, it's comfortable. It's like a Swiss Army knife. Thanks so much for taking the time today to watch this video. Hopefully see you soon, and have a wonderful day.